Listen guys, I have a confession to make. I like Mother 3. I know that's a rather unpopular opinion, but hear me out if you haven't already clicked out of the video through pure rage. There's just something about the satisfying gameplay, interesting and heartwarming characters, engaging battle system, and delightful music and art that I find compelling. Longtime viewers of the channel know I have a bit of history with this game. What with it being my first real series of videos that I did a silent walkthrough on by screen recording the footage off my phone. The obnoxious watermark, the odd sound quality, and me obviously trying to hold my breath and make as little noise as possible while recording have a kind of shitty home movie quality to them. This video isn't about me reflecting on the past or even reviewing the game. Instead, I want to bring a certain aspect of this game to light that I've never, not once, heard anyone discuss. This video will obviously have spoilers, so if you don't want the experience utterly ruined for you, click off now. Veterans of the series know that once Chapter 7 starts, your ultimate goal as Lucas is to pull the 7 needles and reunite with Kumatora and Duster. Everyone knows how this goes. You meet with Ionia and she takes you to the courtyard to see the needle has been pulled. After you see the needle's gone, Ionia leaves and you make your way back to Tazmily. From there on, you go to the Chimera Lab, sit back as this game forgets it isn't a sci-fi horror game, and watch a funny monkey dance. But what if I told you there's actually a super secret version of these events that play out if you do things completely differently? You see, after recruiting Kumatora, you eventually go to Saturn Valley where Duster's waiting to get rescued from the pig masks in the fright boxes. Afterwards, he joins you and the game continues on as normal. Riding that goofy coffee table that would serve as Lucas's entry animation in Super Smash Bros. Is always a fun time. However, what nobody realizes is that Chapter 7 is actually much more open-ended than the game lets on. Yes, you're strongly encouraged to go to the Chimera Lab, but in actuality, if you talk to Bob here, you're given a hint.
I only just discovered this recently while riding the train, but the chain link shutters inside the tunnel are open now.
This might not mean anything to the common man. It's just a way back to the hallway Salsa and Fasada went down in Chapter 3, right? Wrong! Keen players will remember that you can actually get back to the highway from Chapter 5 by going down this tunnel. And what's this? That's right, the coffee table is here the entire time, and you know what that means. You can go save Duster first if you want to. It's especially funny when you free him, and then run all the way back to the Chimera Lab, but you can actually complete the volcano area. It'll be a lot harder since Lucas only has PK Love Alpha, and he's currently the only one with PSI in general, but it is doable. Obviously, Kumatora is absent for these cutscenes, so any dialogue she has is completely removed from the scene or outright skipped. If you do manage to beat the boss and pull the needle, this will result in some unique dialogue from Phrygia, or Phrygia here, where he mentions Doria's needle and how it is yet to be pulled. Duster also gets a line asking if the needle they found is what they're even looking for. This also means that Lucas will learn PK Love Beta here, since it's technically the first needle he pulls out, making your return trip to the Chimera Lab a lot easier. These cutscenes will extend to Kumatora being absent from the flying birdcage, proving that this game is infinitely replayable. I mean, for God's sake, if you wanted to, you could make it to Taintain Island with just Lucas and Boney. Another reason to save Duster as early as possible, so you can watch this sweet cutscene with Wes and Alec even sooner. I love these two, by the way. When are we going to get our Superstar Saga featuring these two going on an old man adventure? Anyways, the Chimera Factory with Duster plays out pretty much the same, barring the fact that you now have 3 party members, which means he also gets a pig mask that doesn't quite fit him right and is kind of cute. This also makes the almost Mecha Lion fight easier as well. The pig mask that refers to Lucas as the cute part-timer acts as if you don't have Duster, so there isn't much unique dialogue for the poor guy. Though of course he is present for the all-encompassing terror and funny monkey antics that ensue. I like that he's the first to check on Boney while he chases Dr. Ananauts. It's a nice touch. But now, the real showstopper, the real reason I even made this video, and the big thing I wanted to show off. When you take control of Salsa to open the door, Duster has dialogue. But seriously though, here's what it is. Now normally, when you meet up with Kumatora, the cutscene goes like this. Since we have Duster, though, plays out slightly differently. New deep lore confirmed, by the way. That's right, we have new Mother 3 deep lore. Duster is not a human, but in fact, a thief. This is probably why normal, boring human injuries, such as a paralyzed leg, doesn't stop him from kicking so much ass. Other than everything I mentioned, again, the cutscene plays out as normal, but with Duster there. And Lucas learning PK Love Gamma, of course. Duster, of course, gets a new line where he suddenly gains amnesia again, and seems to forget what pulling the needles do, despite him getting to watch firsthand before. I can confirm that he also gets a cute little mini sprite when leaving Snowcap Mountain. Now this leads me to think, why has nobody ever documented this before? None of this info is on the Mother 3 wikis I checked. To my knowledge, nobody has ever made light of these minor details. I guess it's such a niche thing that I'm the only one who really gives a shit. But maybe now people will go for Duster playthroughs. Let's make Duster % an official Mother 3 speedrunning category. With that over with, I'd like to talk about some even more minor things about this game that aren't necessarily Duster specific. Did you know that in order to get the cutscene where the Ultimate Chimera corners you while meeting Salsa won't trigger unless you speak to Dr. Andonuts at least once? Because while doing my Duster run, I didn't, and was really confused when nothing happened. When using debug mode, a fun little room you can access by entering some cheat codes, the game is seemingly unable to handle certain things. Let's say you're replaying the game, but don't want to play through the first 3 chapters again. The game will proceed as normal, but some minor things are overlooked. For instance, the game won't give you the battle memory despite you being beyond Chapter 2. It will also put the unused omelets item in your inventory that serve as a max heal. Skipping to chapters 5, 6, or 7 also results in Lucas just never learning PK Love at all, which can make playing quite difficult. Pulling any needle gives him the advanced forms, but never alpha, which is very jarring to me. You'd think the game would just give you these things based on your level up and progression. Though I suppose you can completely skip picking up the battle memory in Chapter 2. I mean, it is an optional present box. But you literally can't progress without talking to Ionia in Chapter 4. He's necessary for the game to continue. I found all these things out myself by just messing around with the game and playing in different ways. It was admittedly a little agonizing having to watch the same cutscenes 3 or 4 different times trying out different character combinations. I didn't have time to try out everything, Lucas and Boney run of Taintain included. I also didn't have time to talk about the even smaller things that debug mode will change about the game, but if you're interested you can always browse the starmen.net forums. I highly recommend checking them out. Of course, if you want to play Mother 3, a quick Google search of the game will bring up the amazing fan translation by Tomato over on fabi.net. It's impossible not to find it since it's literally the 3rd result when you Google Mother 3. As much as I'll continually pray and hope for an official localization of the game, everyone that wanted to play it has already done so considering this fan translation has been out for over 10 years at this point. Considering Nintendo's many shitty decisions as of late, I wouldn't be surprised if they did announce a real localization, just to make everyone forgive them and love them again. It's a cynical world we live in, but just like the world of Mother, it's filled with good guys, and good guys that can do bad things.